Hello there! This is my second video about how I use bullet journaling as an emerging writer to manage my time and to keep writing. The first video explored how I set up my bullet journal at the new year, how I record my goals for the year, my resolutions for the year. What I'm going to do now is to take you through the process of setting up a month. Specifically February. We're going to look in particular at how I set up the tracking pages for my creative writing. My name is John Dudley. I'm in my third age of life now, and I am working to become a creative writer. There are very many ways of setting up and using a bullet journal. Probably as many ways as there are people using bullet journals. There is no one right way to bullet journal. It is a method which you learn, and then as time passes and your experience develops, you apply and adapt to your situation and your preferences. That's one of the great things about bullet journaling. It is a very open and very adaptable method. The bullet journaling system that I am sharing with you in these videos is a result of 5 years of working with bullet journals and trying out different methods and ideas. What I'm sharing with you this year is almost certainly not my final word. I am sure I will think of new things to add in and things to remove down the line. But it is where I am at the moment. I offer it to you as a guide, as something to lean on, maybe as encouragement, but it's not a rule book. It's not how you have to do it. This is how I do it. Your bullet journal will be different again. Okay, let's nerd out.
Okay, so what we're looking at is a top-down view of me setting up my February pages, and I do it first of all by making sure I've got the tools. So I sharpen a couple of pencils and I bring out the bullet journal, my ruler, and a printed sheet of dates. So this is my first page, and we start with the picture of the month. The month is February 2026, and you'll see that I have got a sort of coloured ribbon behind the month. That's just drawn with highlighter pens, and I have a different set of colours for each month. There's nothing absolutely set in stone about it. It's just how I feel. So February is grey, green and blue. And then the first thing I do is I write down the numbers of days in the month. I have to double check because I have forgotten how many days there are in February this year. There are 28 days, not 29, so I have to cross out my 29th. This happens. And then next to the numbers, I write down in shorthand the names of the days of the week. And I do this on 2 pages. It's probably a silly thing to do, but I've been doing it like this for a long time and I carry on now. Then I box everything in with the pencil, and using a coloured pencil, I mark off the weekends in the coming month. And then a few more lines on the immediate right there. Those lines will be where I record whether I have done something on social media or not. And the 2 columns on the left are for repeated actions. So the B is for the blog, the D is for my diary, the V is for videos. I don't necessarily keep to these. It's in pencil for a reason. And then, as you can see, I also add another number, a number for each week. There is a custom in Sweden, which is where I live, for people to refer to weeks by numbers, counting from the first week of the year. So people will say things like would you like to meet in week 13? And if you're like me, you haven't got a clue what week 13 is. But if you write them down in your bullet journal, if I write them down in my bullet journal, I have a chance of knowing where we are. I have a little box at the bottom of the page for things that are going to come in March. Oh yeah, here are my, it's a close-up of the social media that I am trying to remember to post on. We move on, and over the page I'm going to create my first double page spread, which is a tracking page, tracking spread for exercise, sleep, mood in February. I don't think I really need to share more of this with you. But as you see, I set out the double page spread in much the same way as I do the first double page spread for the month, and then I have a grid to capture various things that I want to keep track of. Now over the page I'll show you in more detail the tracking pages, the double tracking pages for my creativity and writing in February. So once again, creating a diary page with the days, the dates and the days. And then I have a column where I record my creativity and hours spent writing. And I'll show you a little bit later how I fill that in. I have a breakdown A, B, C, D through to H of different things that I record word counts for, and then they have a total word count, and then you also see a double column spread for the books that I have been reading. Okay, so what you're seeing now is a close-up of the column titles for my tracking page here. A is my morning pages, B is for quarrying and notes, C is for my diary, D is for social media and letters, E is blog posts and video and podcast scripts, and F is short form, that means poems or flash fiction possibly, and G is long form, which means my novel and perhaps also my memoir. Finally, I have H at the end there, which is Obsidian Notes. Morning pages, the column is quite narrow, as is Obsidian Notes. That's because I don't count words in either of those. They're both wordless. No, the morning pages is longhand words. Obsidian Notes has to do with looking at the database and trying to find out more information. I will probably do videos on both morning pages and on my use of Obsidian Notes. The other columns are all double square columns, and they are where I can write up the number of words, the digital words that I have written for each day, and total them in the columns and in the total number of words at the end. So that's basically it. What I'm showing you now is just the final look through of the tracking pages for February, and we're out.
So that was my February pages. My next video in this series will be about setting up and using a bullet journal day, a day in the middle of February. But I think I'm done for now. If you would like to see more, then by all means subscribe to the channel. And if you are already subscribed, well, thank you. Maybe you can give this video a thumbs up. If you're still watching, and about 22% of you seem still to be, thank you for sticking with me. Leave a comment, mention the 22%, and I'll award you a medal. For now though, I'll say cheerio until my next video. Bye bye.